everyone, Solomon here. I just
The title is Post Nut Clarity, my first solo Swiss brothel. I'm reacting.
successfully completed my service that was performed at the Club Swiss here in Zurich for the first time ever at this location. So here it is. It's exactly what you think it is. The debauchery that goes inside of here. And this is what it looks like. So the prices are, it's exactly what you think it is. Wow, there's a top view too. I guess.
Yo, this is a wild title, by the way. Post Nut Clarity, my first solo Swiss brothel. This is like 2012 YouTube algorithm, bro. I'm shocked this even came up on my feed, yo.
You know, it was a great place. You know, I was worried I would just stay in there, you know, all night. But allow me to describe my experiences.
My son an Asian in Switzerland, okay.
You know, it's like $168 or $70 to get in. And it's like $150 US for half an hour. For a girl for 30 minutes, and you know, you could do anything.
So you paying $150 for pooms? Hold on.
You know, virtually anything. Most of these girls are expats, like borderline, like refugees from Romania.
Dang, hold on, y'all.
You know, that's just what it is. You know, Ukraine, Russian war, then there's Romania thrown in there somewhere with the geopolitical asylum-seeking crazy shit that's always going on. In any event, I found a place to hang out for me on my vacation. So this is where we went, and you know, men generally come in and go. When I stay, they got a little bar there. They have the sauna. They got the steam room. They got a jacuzzi. So once you're done doing your dirty business, they don't just kick you out. You know, you're free to leave. You know, as long as it's during 11 a.m. to 2 a.m.
You say you're free to leave, like they be holding people in there hostage and whatnot. Hold on.
In the morning or something. And they don't necessarily serve food in this one or have a buffet.
What you mean food in this one? You been to a couple, bro?
This is still okay. They can order food for you outside and then bring it here. So there is an upstairs to this, but it was
fire though. I'm from the Bronx. I'm pretty sure dudes that be paying 40 for to hit something real quick. They ain't coming with no food or no plate or none of that. Some of them ain't even coming with bud. You feel me? But let's keep it going.
It's cold during my time, so no one was really going upstairs to a party. Another question is, you know, do the girls look like what they're marketed in, you know, these, you know, fancy catalogs or whatever online? And the simple answer to that is no. You know, a lot of them are like refugees. They look Eastern European, snow bunnies, white, you know, white girl, whatever you want to call it. But still, people get old. They have stretch marks. They have red. You know, they don't look like some Hollywood tan beauty queen all the time. And some of them, in the dark, look younger than what they actually are. So there's the constant problem, or you know, just the reality of it. People age. Women age. You know, it's generally hard to just save files like a video game and just replay things like, oh yeah.
In other words, he's saying it very politely. In other words, you could be paying $150 to get catfish, so it could be a lot of false advertising in this lane. This is crazy. Let me keep it going. I'm sorry for interrupting y'all.
Everything's like, you know, dandy, but this is reality, people. Every second of the day, people are aging, except Asians. Asians generally don't age. I told the girls my real age is 40. Everyone was shocked.
Asians and black people. God damn. this not. I'm not even going.
And every one of them was shocked. I guess that a lot. It's just, it's
Bro, you look 40, bro. I'm not like no hating. You look 40, my nigga. Like you don't look 25, bro. I don't know if that's what you thought. Like, I mean, anybody will assume you're either old or young because you're paying for box. So in a sense, like you lame or just don't want to deal with the getting to know somebody for a week to hit. So I mean, we're either gonna assume you're young with no game or just old and washed. So I mean, it wasn't because you looked young though.
just that like white
You my guy though. I rock with you.
people in general age particularly fast, like in the textbooks. You know, I can explain this through ancient aliens, but then you would have to believe in other solar systems and galaxies, and it doesn't fit the narrative of you know, American history, of, you know, where the fuck, you know, Chinese people came from originally. You know, if I told you from the Orion constellation, you're probably like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's next level. In any event, back to Earth here.
I wonder if he was talking to his joint he paid before he smashed about the stars and the galaxies and the zodiac signs and Ryan and Orion's belt and the aura and all type of stuff like that. This my son be watching Billy Carson, bro. Like you a Billy Carson fan. I rock with Billy Carson too.
I had three girls. Three girls, okay?
Huh?
The first one, you know, in the morning time, between 11 a.m. and 12, this
Three girls. He might be 25. He's smashing like he's 16. Three girls.
you know, Romanian, you know, Russian,
Wait,
Natalia,
he just dropped 450.
you know, big boobs. She was hiding her gut, her belly fat actually, with the, you know, beret, you know, the Victorian secret, you know, corset looking thing. And yeah, I was doing it with her. I told her to go slow, and I was just being honest with her, like it's my first time here, and then I was just trying to breathe and not nut the first like 2 seconds. So I lasted, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes with just foreplay without nutting or taking pills, or the blue pill, Viagra or anything. And it's just like, okay, you know, eventually, you know, she gave me a titty job, and this and that. I told her to slow down because I kind of knew, I know how my body works. I mean, that thing is just gonna rip, go, and it's game over. So I survived like 10, 15 minutes into it, and because I told her to go slow, you know. Yes, I do look 40, and it also works like a 20-year-old, you know, just. And of course, there's that refractory period where you have to recharge in about 30 minutes, considering the fact that I'm actually 40.
I ain't never heard nobody call it refractory period. I need to go another round. Hold on. I'll catch me in the second round. Hold on. Let me charge up. That's usually what you say. He called it refractory and all that. I said, okay. He put mathematics to paying for box. Hold on. Let's do it.
Years old. So that was the first girl. You know, was she super pretty? Was she okay? She looked like the ones you see in a porno. The face, you know, the white girl face, just attractive and Eastern European looking, snow bunny type. You know, something you would see out of film, you know, but at the same time she told me, you know, their breasts were silicone. You know, you're not just gonna get a 10 out of 10 a girl working in here.
That sounds logical.
And, you know, just it wouldn't exist in the natural world unless you were doing an air doll or some like Hollywood top-notch, you know, celebrity or some shit. Just, and people have to take care of themselves, and you know, it's just, you know, there has to be standards and money and, you know, all this high maintenance stuff. So that was the first girl. I mean, just, you know, I don't even get the 30 minutes. It was a very long time, you know. So it was a hand job and a titty motions and, touching and kissing. $150 for 30 minutes. And then, of course, I'm trying to recover. I'm desperately trying to cover, and the game here isn't, the game here necessarily isn't how many girls you have, because they're willing to do you, provided that you look okay. I'm 5'9", so I didn't have a problem with, hooking up with anyone. It's just, I look kind of normal looking for an Asian person. I'm tall enough. I'm not, I'm just like decent looking. That's well understood in the species of man. Like, I'm not the ugliest guy in the room. I'm also not the oldest fucking, creepy guy in there. It's just like, yeah, you have a lot of like Caucasian older men, balding coming here. That's been very common since forever. You see, dusty ass, balding guy all the time, all over the place. This is the thing, hair loss, premature hair loss. There's just going to be white men, all over the place. That doesn't really bother me.
I just don't understand how you 40 and don't got no charisma, dude. Like, you've been on this earth for too long, no charisma. Male pattern baldness. Most likely, if you're paying for a box, at least before our day and age with the internet and people getting money at a certain level, usually you extra fat, out of shape, you dumb ugly, bro. I don't know why you taking so long just to get that out. You're getting me tight. But anyway, let's keep it going.
So yeah, just, enjoy. I was just enjoying the environment. Great, white people, just, I'm enjoying the culture. I'm learning. Yeah, it's just some like great stuff in there. So you got the music playing in the background, you got the bar, drinks,
music.
You got the girls. And then the second one, I saw two blondes, and, my thing was hanging out. I was in a robe, and my thing was hanging out, purposefully as foreplay.
This is a reaction. I'm sorry I'm interrupting, but I just can't imagine being in a brothel, especially after watching European movies like Hostile and all that. And I'm just comfortable. I'm just so comfortable. I'm just in a robe with a pipe in my mouth. Like, yeah, bro, just chilling. Like, you in a foreign country, foreign land. Yo, you brave, my guy. You brave.
And these blondes are just talking to each other, chilling. And one of them just like kicks it, like lightly taps it with her toes, her feet. My pecker, yes, the pecker. She was foreplaying my pecker, and she's just like, do you want to do it? And she just seemed really into it. She will probably look like a Polish Olga or something, but she's also Romanian. She wasn't the best for looking at blondes, but she seemed to really want to do it.
Look, European girls with the name Olga do not be fire like that, for real.
She was high energy. She seemed to like men. Feminism wasn't even a thing for her. She just generally liked men. I don't know how that's even possible, but okay.
That's very shocking for her to like men, and the fact that you're getting objectified, you feel me? And when you're getting objectified, meaning you're the person providing the sexual service, you kind of see how, I guess gross dudes can be when they paying for box, and also vice versa. You see how gross women can be, and then you start to objectify them when that's the downside of paying for box, is what I'm saying. That's why I'm shocked that, like, he's shocked too. Like, you could tell she genuinely has some sort of level of respect for guys, and she does this line of work. That is something to definitely be shocked about.
Seemed to be into me for some reason, I don't know. So this blonde.
Also, for some reason, I know white people and Asians, y'all are each other's kryptonites at the same time. So it could have just been that. I wonder if my black ass rolled up in there with locks on, talking about, hey, how you doing? I wonder would have been the same vibe outside of the bread.
Kind of flat, And I'm just like, okay, like I gotta fulfill these bucket list things. Blonde, do a blonde, So eventually we get in the private room again, $150, foreplay, touching, and she's really into me. Eventually I'm just like condom. And she has this like strawberry flavored condom going on, so it's all red, and she slips it on my junk and starts sucking it, Then after like a minute or two, you know, on my second, you know, nut, you know, I don't know if you want to call it premature ejaculation, but you know, it came out the second time pretty quickly as well. Maybe I survived like 2, 3, like I probably ripped it after like 10 minutes. Provided that I told her to go slow too. You know,
I think subconsciously your brain is just like, I shouldn't even be doing this, and I kind of need to make this quick, even if I'm not trying to make this quick. So I think that's why my boy just nothing mad quick. Yeah.
trying to preserve the shaft over here without taking Viagra or nitrates or whatever the hell, nitrogen. I don't know, these fancy pills, you know. And that's the game, you know. As long as you can get hard all the time using magic pills, you could get action. You know, in my case, you know, premature ejaculation is probably a problem. Not taking enough magic pills. You know, I felt like grandpa over here. So anyways, yeah, I probably survived a 2-minute or 3-minute at most blowjob with this strawberry flavored condom.
You nothing off a neck, bro?
And it's just like, I'm just feeling her hair, feeling what it's like. Am I dreaming? You know, just getting my experience, trying to get to grasp the, you know, the most out of it I can. You know, given the context that this stuff generally doesn't take place in America. You know, in a whorehouse, because everything is illegal, and you know, this and that. So then afterwards, we're just talking, and you know, I know why she was here. She's a Romanian, you know, expat, refugee, this, that, Ukrainian and Russian war, human trafficking shit. I don't really know that. It was just like, oh, yeah, she's making enough money here. She told me they pay $30. Eventually, you know, I talked to the girls and whatever. Eventually, they pay like $30 to stay upstairs. So, like, there's the first floor, and then the second floor is dedicated to dormitory for these girls, said girls. They have to pay $30 a day, which is like nothing. It's like $50 US at most, to be generous. And that's, yeah, like 500, 1,500. So, I don't know, it's equals to like $2,000 a month. Give or take. If you can do the math, it's 30 days times $30. 30 days times, shit, I can't math right now. But anyways, you get the drift. So it's not super expensive. $30 a day, $150 a week. It's something. 300 times. I don't know, this was like $2,000 to half a rent, which is normal. And the other thing was going on, okay, so we do it, you know, and then she's just really happy to talk to me, like she's very friendly, and this sort of thing doesn't happen too often. You know, I'm communicating here with a blonde, you know, as an Asian guy, you know, I'm trying to get on my jollies, she's just doing my
jollies.
thing, you know, my flaccid ass penis, you know, after nutting the second time, you know, she just, again, it's just about the recovery game here, the refractory period. I mean, that thing's not going anywhere. She's just playing with it. Hey, I mean, use my masculinity, my direction to ask her, verbally ask her to suck the nuts, you know, 2 of them, you know, and she did.
Yo, I never heard a nigga explain a story like this. He said, I used my masculinity to tell her to suck the nuts. I didn't even know that was masculine. Did he mean I was just being assertive? Like, I just like I would have been. I was being straight up and direct. Like, yo, suck my balls. Like the way he just described it is this man's description. Yo, listen, man.
So she did the shaft, the 2 nuts after I came, you know, and yeah, it was a good show. So after the second girl, so eventually, you know, the whole show, you know, 30 minutes, $150. Then I go bouncing around, hit up the sauna, the shower, trying to clean myself. Oh, I forgot. I had to clean myself really well because this girl was actually tonguing me. I was trying to feel uncomfortable. God knows how many men she's have had before me. I don't want to even think about it. But anyways, you know, I never felt what another person's tongue in my mouth felt like. And I'm just like, wow, damn. Slimy. It's slimy, you know.
Nah, kissing a prosty is crazy. And then he said, I never felt the person's tongue in my mouth. I'm I, if you watching this and made it this far in the comment section, I want you to explain what your opinion on that part. But let's keep it going.
Like a slug, you know, it's kind of like, I wasn't really into it that much because I don't know where her tongue's been, you know, or if she does this with everyone, or maybe it's just me that she liked, you know, along with a few other guys. But, you know, just the tongue action with so many guys is just like, oh shit, you know, God knows what level of herpes is going on, what kind of STDs is going on here. So anyways, eventually I just gained the confidence to just, the trust just to feel what it looks like. It's just like, she was really into it. She was really like 5-10 times more into it than I was, and I was just like, damn.
I mean, I'd hope so. She got paid.
Damn, you know, this. I had to be the gatekeeper. I had to be, you know, keep my boundaries. You know, that doesn't happen with me. It's just like, oh my god, she's stepping the line. There's a little bit too much tongue action here. So that was kind of funny. That was just like a weird experience. It's like a guy getting raped or something. This doesn't happen too often. Anyways, then you know, after the experience, then I had my third girl. I'm trying to clean that shit off, using soap before my third girl. You know, also I probably spent an hour just chilling and exploring the place and outside. And the third girl was Gabriella, and this one, she looked young in the dark, but after she took me to the VIP, you know, a private room, and a private room. These places have their own private rooms. They had about, I don't know, like 7 of them, maybe 8 of them, even up to 10 of them. And yeah,
he's disgusting with himself.
There's a porno in the background. You know, this one, you know, I'm touching, I'm feeling. She seems to be really into me. A little bit too much. And it was organic. It was more organic. She was open. She was experienced. There must be a lot of masculine energy that she's able to express her femininity, which is how it works. If there wasn't like all these white dudes, you know, backing up this business somehow, or doing the security, or just the environment, the town itself, this could not transpire. This business cannot take place. So the standards are high. People are expected to get paid well. You know, otherwise no one's gonna fucking do this shit because it's just too risky, and you know, the laws and stuff. So we're looking at you know.
And your goofy eye recording the whole building, bro. Like, you hot. But I know it ain't super illegal like it is in America.
After some touching, after some kissing, some initial trust, you know, I ask her to put on the condom. She's giving me oral, you know, about 2-3 minutes in, and then she just starts, you know, suggesting to fuck it. And, you know, after receiving the 3-minute fucking, excuse me, the 3-minute sucking, the oral, I'm surprised that even lasted that long with the condom. So, you know, then she just, you know, controls the thing, you know, the pecker, and I'm just keeping it up for her, so it's still hard. And then she just, you know, gyrates on it, like inserts it inside of herself. It's all wet at this time, and you know, after like 5-10 seconds, I think I came. And you know, I guess that's how, you know, STDs transferred if you're not using a condom. Thank God I was using a condom, you know, and I was preventing her from, you know, gyrating on too much, so that the condom wouldn't fall off and, you know, have spillage and all this stuff. Again, God knows how many men she's been with. And then afterwards, we're just chatting and stuff, because, you know, this is my 3rd time nutting, and I told her, like, oh, she's like, oh, I thought I was your first girl, and, you know, like, no. She's like, oh, you know, everyone wants to be your first, but, you know, damn. Player's gonna be a player. And shit.
What?
So by her, I already like baseline of happiness, the climax, you know.
I said a player's gonna be a player. Why do you? She wanted to be his first time, like she thought she was taking his virginity or something, or first girl of the day.
And I told her like 3 times, I'm done for today, you know. So anything else that went on? Yeah, it was just wet down there. It was moist down there, you know. And you know,
Went down well.
Oh, we talk about like I'm just wondering like if she likes men, if she really likes men, and she's like, yeah. I was like, what kind of man? What kind of men do you like? She's just like.
Man, that pays clearly.
She likes actually like the Korean guy from Squid Game, the bad guy. Understandable. He's the Chad of Koreans. You know, he's bad, he's evil, and you know, the money guy with the
nigga,
face
boy. Why you smelling your hands, boy? Why you trying to smell your hands, boy? Why you trying to smell your
mask? That's kind of a girl likes, you know, taller. She's taller, just like handsome, like the jawline thing going on. Okay. The Chad jawline, the Asian Chad jawline, whatever you want to call it. And she's like the Asian eyes. I'm like, oh, she likes the Asian eyes. I'm just like, wow, you know, Europeans can mix and match with some Asian, that more handsomer of Asian men, notably Korean or K-pops, or, you know, maybe if you're good looking enough. Chinese person, if you're lucky enough. I don't know if it plays out very well if you're Chinese, but it plays out better if you're Korean. You know, that's just the honest truth. It's just because they were closer to Russia in a geopolitical sense, so a lot of the Russians came over, and they're like tall or big as fuck, you know, back in the day. And then the Asian guy actually gets an upgrade with his genetics, so you got like 4'5", 5 foot, you know, Chinese peasant, you know, in the breed, and the Korean Chinese breeds and shit, you know, because of the Russian. And then you have, through evolution, the Korean that spawned. Simply because, you know, Korean wanted to separate themselves because Chinese people were like the Mexicans of Asia. You're just dirty as fuck, no matter how hard you're trying to hide it. That's just the reality of it. I myself is Chinese, that's how I know these things. Or that's just the general bias. Chinese people are just motherfucking dirty in comparison to, per se, if you heard someone who's from Japan. You know, so someone from Tokyo, oh, they must be all fancy. But the facade is there, the high tech, you know, this and that, intelligent. You know, and then, you know, you have Taiwan, and, you know, then you have like South Korean people, like again with the high tech shit and the standards, and then you have like fucking made in China. It's like you're a dirty ass motherfucker made in Mexico too, while you're at it. Anyways, yeah, that was it. That was my energy for my third girl. I called quits. I felt like the demon exited. I think this was explained in Seinfeld. It's like a demon. That leaves the guy, and then he goes home, and like, yeah, he just calls it quits and be like, oh yeah, I did it, and yeah. Oh, so my bike is parked over there. I spent already 23 minutes explaining my Freudian psychology over here. So I left at 4 o'clock. It's 4:30. I have to get home by 7. All I had was 2 eggs in the morning. I didn't want to look fatter than I actually was at the place. And yeah, overall, the girl is one of the prettiest of pretty. Maybe I'll hit up the Globe later this week. But I saw this place was like day spa, really naked, erotic, like day spa, and I really want to try something, you know, by myself. See how I operated, see how things would turn out. Pretty good, you know. This is it. This is the day. God knows how. I'm already 40 years old. God knows how many like times I fantasized about being this guy who, you know, had a good job and just had a good time at the club. You know, this is it. You know, this is it. You know, it's like walking down Wall Street, but every fucking the club in New York City is just the girls just pay the money and you don't get much value out of this.
First off, New York girls is different, bro. Different. If you got hella hoes in New York, you that nigga, bro. Growing up, you gonna get girls in New York, but it's not. I ain't gonna lie. In New York, getting girls is so hard when you go out of state. It feel like it's easy as breathing. He dead not lying, and he not even black. You feel me? So you know what I'm saying? But no, yeah, New York girls mad. You could pull up in New York. You could pull up on a girl in a Lambo and two Bentleys behind you. You know what their reaction gonna be? And you're not impressing a New Yorker like that for real. And it's not intentional. It's just everybody in New York is lit. Like it's like New York is so many clicks and competitive, and everybody's so lit. Nobody's lit, or it's dumb or hard to be lit. It's hard to explain. Like it's hard to explain. You just gotta be from there.
It felt relaxed. One of the girls, I was trying to explain to one of the girls that she noticed I was very nervous and, horny. And it's just like, why is that? And it's just all this repressed sexual energy living in America. Work, and then, there's no release, there's no outlet.
He fake got a point. I'm not gonna make it about sex, but yeah, America's hustle culture. You work all day, hustle and bustle. You feel me? Like hustle and bustle, and you don't really get much out of it. That's why I'm sitting here watching him. You feel me? That's why I'm reacting to him. I'm making my own way, and if you watching this, you making your own way too. It's not easy. It's hard. I mean, you could go on my channel, check the views. It's tough, but I do get enjoyment in doing YouTube and a handful of other things. And I think every man should have something they're passionate about outside of smoking weed, which I do, smoking weed and drinking liquor. I think every man should have at least something they're passionate about that they do. You know what I'm saying?
And with the feminine movement and all this stuff, it's just like men go their own ways. It's like shit. It's background noise. It's not why anyone is here to hate each other. There are issues, and damn, I need a solution to be happy. Damn, looking for a solution. Come to Switzerland. Go to Switzerland.
Yo, I heard.
Don't try to go
they make the best knives in Switzerland. I heard they make the best knives in Switzerland, yo. Fun fact.
Nevada. Cheryl's Ranch. Cheryl's Ranch, I think that's what it's called. The Bunny Ranch or something.
Yeah.
But this place, again, like $75, $70 US to get in, and $150 US, Visa, credit card, whatever, and that's it. That's it. Cash, credit, and that's all you really needed. You don't have to go through the police or any of this crazy detective shit about. You just disappear to Switzerland, and spend a week here, and stay in some raunchy hotels or whatever, and that's it. You don't have to get married. You don't have to tell your wife. Your sister doesn't need to come. None of this drama shit, just drama mama shit. No child support. No. Good time, without the noise. It's like a science behind it, and Switzerland got it right. Don't ask me how, don't ask me why, things are good here. Had a great time, great time. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'm all out.
It's crazy when the foreigners in America is going overseas. Yo, that's wild, son. Like usually, what I'm saying, Americans, they go on their own way, passport bros. How you foreign and you a passport bro? That's crazy, bro. Nigga say I gotta get out the West. But I mean, this is an interesting story. What really caught my eye about this and I had to react to it was because the title, I have not heard. This is literally like the 2012 YouTube algorithm. I'm not gonna say 2020. Y'all 2010. Y'all too young for that. Y'all don't know. Like used to be. Yeah. For those who know, you know. But hey, man, if y'all like more stuff like this, comment, and I will comment if you want to see me react to more stuff like this, and I will drop my email in the comment section and I'll react to it just for you. Stay tuned. Let's keep it going. And most importantly, do you know where your kids are?